All right. Welcome, everyone. My name is Kristina Amon, and I'm really honored and pleased to be able to share this presentation with you. Whoever invited you really loves you because they care passionately about what we have to share, and they're excited to have you come and see how it feels, if it resonates, if it feels like a fit for you, if there's a way to collaborate. So thank you for taking the time. I honor your time, and we're going to keep it short and sweet and valuable to you. So let's get started. We're really here to talk about whole life transformation. And truly, for many of us who jump into this journey, this community, this endeavor, it is really a transformation on all levels. And if that's you, if you've had that experience, drop a comment about what that's been like for you, because many will come for, and you'll hear about our different pillars, and it's extraordinary how they all affect each other. For example, people come for the health, and yet we discover, wow, our financial health really plays a role in our physical health. And so here we have a solution that gets to touch all of them. So I would love to hear from those of you who are here a little bit about what a wealth transformation or a whole life transformation or a financial transformation might look like for you. So, get settled into a place of imagination in your mind. And if you could really see a place where all your bills are paid for and all expenses of whatever you desire, what is it that you would be putting your time and energy towards on a daily basis? And that might feel like an overwhelming question at first. So just kind of like get quiet and kind of see what comes up for you. I know it was for me as well. But if anybody has any responses, I would love to hear what comes up for you in those questions.
So I am putting that I would be healthier and I would be able to focus on my health and the health of others. Um, One of the things that for some time kind of stirred me away from taking care of myself is just how much easier it is and how much faster it is to go through a drive-through or, time, money, and so on and so forth. So I would definitely be healthier if my bills were paid and I was able to put time and energy towards this. I definitely feel like that's what would happen for me.
Thank you for sharing. That is such a huge issue in our world, especially in our country today, is people having to make those hard decisions between healthy choices and cheap, convenient, easy. So thank you for sharing that. It's actually quite tragic because we all know what happens when you choose healthy versus otherwise, and it's devastating that's even an issue, that some people don't have access or that it's a lot harder. So thank you for bringing that up. And I'm going to read some of the comments in the chat here too. I would be spending time with my family in the outdoors, enjoying nature. And I would invest in my health on a physical and spiritual level. I would spend more time using my artistic and musical talents. So continue to leave any more comments in the chat. A lot of people, when asked this question, really get to tap into dreams that might have been asleep previously, or the feeling of truly being free when their bank account isn't what's holding them back. So that's a lot of what we get to help people step into here. More time with my family. Yeah, that's my story, and that's what I want to share with you. I would be sharing my love of movement and the wisdom of the human body with others. So really sharing our gifts and skills with others without letting money be that barrier. So here's a little bit about my story. We were aspiring regenerative farmsteaders. I think you get the idea of farmers, but homesteaders. And we were struggling to have the funds to make it happen. We started with raw land. And it's extremely, it turns out it was extremely expensive to put all the infrastructure, utilities, road, house, fencing, plants, animals, all the things. So my husband was gone working all the time, trying to pull it off. I was home alone pretty much most of the time, raising the children, homeschooling, homesteading, um, and making the choice to be present with my family and not go out and get a job because that was a really core value for me. But what I basically had chosen was I'm just going to settle because all I can see in this pathway is that we're going to be really poor farmers, and I'm going to have to give up any other dreams of travel or luxury or any of that. And I was on some level okay with it, but it was really taking a toll on our health, on our marriage, on my overall well-being. I remember giving up the idea of ever traveling to see my grandmother, who is my favorite relative in the world, and just being like, I guess that's my life now. But fast forward, so that was 2017, and then now Purium has allowed me the opportunity to help my husband almost fully retire from his brick and mortar. So he's still there because he loves it, but he is mostly home being a farmer, being a father, and following his passions of paragliding. And he even became an airplane pilot this year. So we're also pouring into the farm, really watching the whole land come to flourishing life with orchards and gardens, and we're able to afford labor and materials and infrastructure. And our vision really is to just keep sharing that abundance with our community and really build up a robust model of regenerative farming and sustainability that other people can come and enjoy, and other people can model after and build up in other places. So we also get to center our family, our life around our family, adventuring and playing and being present for our boys as they grow up. We're always able to make it to the games and the performances and the graduations. And I'm always like the mom that my boys know they can ask to drive the kids different places or take them camping and be a home base where a lot of the community, we joke and call it the youth center because we always have a lot of kids hanging out at my house, and that brings me a lot of joy. And I get to help others create the financial foundation to make their dreams and passions a reality. So, and finally, I'm traveling next month to my grandmother's 100th birthday. So whereas once I literally had said goodbye to her in my heart and thought I'll never see her again, she lives very far away on the other side of the planet. I've gotten to see her multiple times since I've started this journey. So ultimately, what this all comes down to is a real feeling that I own my life. I determine how my days are spent. I have the freedom to make the choices that are in alignment with my values and my passions, and really follow my deeper calling. So if that's something that you're calling in, drop a 1 in the comments, because that's what we're really here to help people create. And so how do we do that? And who is Purium? Well, we're the transformation company. That's one of our new taglines. And we're committed to these 4 pillars. Health. So we're helping people truly detoxify from a heavily poisoned food system and pharmaceutical system in a very safe, gradual way that really can eliminate just a lot of issues, a lot of the toxins that are causing health issues, and then deeply nourish. So really, we're flooding the body with this, you're going to get to hear about how powerful our nutrition is, but we're really helping people get their lives back through vitality. And then there's this wealth aspect, which I've touched on, of how we can make a financial leap from where we were. From me, it was creating income greater than I had ever seen. For some people, they come in with a beautiful amount of income, but they don't have the fulfillment. It's not fully in alignment with their core values, and they don't own their time. So having a wealth transformation isn't just about making more money, but it's making money in a different way, something they can really stand behind and feel good about, and that can help support the sustainability of their own health. Our third pillar is the planet, and we're going to get to, well, actually, I'll talk a little bit more about that now. Uh, if you've heard about how much carbon emissions our typical food system creates it between the trucking and the air conditioning and the refrigeration, stuff is harvested, it's moved from here to there to here to there and sitting and it's and then back to your house and your car and your fridge and all of that. It's actually quite crazy compared to, you know, the original model of growing our own food and going to farmers markets. And we still encourage as much of that as possible. But what Purium has been able to create is an incredibly uh, efficient, oh, I see. The slides are here. Okay. So I'm jumping around a little bit, but I just missed the boat there. So health. So back to the health pillar, and then I'll jump back to the planet. So part of the health that we're doing, part of what makes this so powerful is that we have 1% of the quality of these superfoods of the whole planet. So that's kind of a crazy concept to grasp, but what I want to break it down to say is that most of the soil in our on our earth is depleted of nutrients, and so much of it is over toxified from pesticides, herbicides, all of that, and chemical fertilizers. So when you look at what's happening with agriculture in the world, and you look at where's the cleanest soil and where's the regeneratively farmed soil, meaning the nutrients are going back into the soil, that really brings us to this 1%. And Purium having that really high quality, we're kind of the 1% of the 1%, which is pretty crazy. And I know that we all want to eat this way. We would love to go to the grocery store and feel like we're getting that quality, but there is so much unknown of what is being sold as food right now. So to be able to trust in the quality of this food is really extraordinary. And continue to grow your own food, continue to get from farmers markets, continue to eat wherever you eat, because we do live in a world and we're going to come up against whatever, from a party, from a, you know, whatever we need to do. But knowing we have access to this 1%, it's really a gift. And this is why we're so passionate about sharing this, because we would love to see as many people as possible get access to this. So we also have a glyphosate solution. I'm not going to get into it, so ask more if you don't know what glyphosate is, but it is basically Roundup, and it's causing a lot of health issues, systemic inflammation, diseases, even cancer, and all because of the destruction of the gut microbiome. And we have a solution to rid the body of that. So that's incredible. And we have really high purity testing. So at the facility, everything goes through an in-house microbiologist and detects there's no heavy metals, there's no mold, there's no fungus, there's no contaminants of any kind. It's truly pure. And we have incredible farmers that provide our products. Okay, so the wealth transformation I spoke to a little bit overall, but what you can see here is that people are creating an additional stream of income with this business, whether that's to cover the cost of their products, to cover, say, a car payment or even a house payment. And some people move through this pay plan to even create a full-time income, and then even multiple full-time streams of income, this residual income. So this is the idea of moving beyond dollars for hours or salary into a place where you're making money while you sleep. You're using this leveraged business model and building a team through leadership development and collaboration to where you're making money that in part-time hours that you're not necessarily, having a direct hand in at the moment, just from seeds that you planted like a farmer, you get to see this abundant harvest happen. So that's how I was able to make that wealth transformation. And it's really a beautiful opportunity. So lots of support for this. And now I will get back to how our pillar of the planet. So the idea that I was talking about was this inefficiency in the food system and how we're really going for that full efficiency. And we harvest the food right on site. We wash it, we juice it, low temperature, wind dehydration, and then package it immediately. So maximizing those nutrients, and it hasn't gone anywhere. That's all on the farm, on site. Then going to our facility, and then to where it gets tested and then repackaged, shipped to your door. And that packaging is in home compostable packaging that has actually been tested to show that it improves your soil quality as it's diverting plastic from landfill and oceans. So it's really quite extraordinary, the multiple ways that Purium is helping planetary health. And then our fourth pillar is community. And go ahead and put in the comments your favorite pillar, or how any of these have really touched your lives. But we live in a world right now where, I don't know about you, but I'm casting my vote on my community to see the kind of change that I want to see. I don't know where it's going at those other levels, but what I do know is that we can build a robust, thriving local economy, local networks of support and collaboration. And that's exactly what happens within Purium. A lot of us may have been raised in ways where we were conditioned to think that competition was the main way, or being alone and being a solo entrepreneur was the main way. But here we come together, we're interdependent, we support each other, we uplift each other, we teach each other, we share resources, we leverage each other's gifts. And it's, I'm getting chills. It's an extraordinary, unique business model that's really shifting the economy game in my mind. And the more that we can bring this kind of economy to life in local communities and really see that effect, we're really going to shift the world in the kind of positive way that, people at the top are making promises. But I really think we, the people, have the power and can do this through nourishing a healthy, robust local economy. And we have so much influence when we really come together. So that's and a lot of people come here for the community because it's so extraordinary and so supportive, and most of us really have that need to belong. Plus, the mentorship is world class, and all of it comes for free just by joining the business. So, is there anybody here who is inspired to share your story? Go ahead and raise your hand if you would like to share your 2-minute, your own transformational story, wherever you are at in your journey. And this is a moment to hear voices, if anybody would like to. Just do the little raise hand thing. Okay. Go ahead and come off mute, Laura.
Hello. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? Are you hearing me well?
Yeah, we'd love to hear your story.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me share. I just posted some stories on my Instagram account because I am realizing, it seems like mind is behind to understand what really happened with me. I was suffering from autoimmune disease for over 15 years. I was always on heavy meds. I had rheumatoid arthritis. And this protocol and these products helped me in the way that I can even not describe, because, there was a time a few years ago when I decided to heal my autoimmune disease naturally. I didn't know how I'm going to do it, but I just decided to do it. So I did a lot of inner work, I did a lot of energy healing. And then obviously I realized that I need to change my diet. So I was on this journey. And then at some point, I prayed because I realized I really need something, but I didn't know what it was to support my body through this healing process. And so these products came along really quickly after I said that prayer. I was introduced to them and I said, let's go, let's do this. And within few days, I started feeling the change. And now it's been over a year and I am completely meds free. And today I went for a run, and here in Chicago is extremely hot and humid. And so even when I was on meds, I would have my joints swelling in this kind of weather. And imagine today I went for this run and I had nothing was happening to me. Like this is beyond miraculous. And then the fact that I'm able to dance again, I don't know if I hit the 2 minutes already or not, but the other part was like, like rheumatoid arthritis really cripples your joints. And it's a really terrible disease, and not to mention the pain it causes. But thanks to Dave and Amy, I'm literally able to dance again, which is like my favorite thing in the world.
Wow, thank you so much. Congratulations, that is huge. And I, as a dancer, can completely appreciate that. That's congratulations. Thanks for sharing.
Oh, thank you for letting me tell.
Yeah, and that's just, that really speaks to the power of these foods and the kind of transformation, and then we can start to understand how is it that people are able to have these wealth transformations. Well, the food is that powerful. The food is creating that kind of health transformations in people. So it's really easy to talk about it, to share about it, and build a business around it. Does
Absolutely.
anybody else have a business transformation that they would love to share before I move on? Okay. So how does this all work? What is Purium? Well, it's an online superfood superstore. So when you join the business, you get your own superfood superstore. You get a link, you get to share that with others, and you get to provide affordable solutions for health and financial aspirations to other people. Um, Products shipped to the US and Canada, and it's primarily a women-led company, and we've and we have Dave and Amy. I'm going to talk about them in a minute here. And then we have this superfood gift code program that rewards real impact with real income. So this is how we share with our networks, with our friends, with our family, with our clients, with our patients, with our online network, whatever networks you have. You are sharing this, and with this gift code, they're getting a discount, you're getting commissions, and then there's bonuses that can be earned on top of that. It's an equal opportunity business model that meets people where they are in business and health. So there's no pressure. You're your own boss. There's nobody telling you what you have to do. There are a bunch of us cheering you on and saying, here's what's possible, and we believe in you. There's no inventory that you have to keep on stock. There's no franchise fees. And it's a low cost of entry. In fact, the only cost of entry is the cost of your own superfoods. So you purchase your first month as part of our initial 90-day program, and that alone gets you a free business, including all that free mentorship, the community, the resources, the digital resources, the online community, on and on and on. So that's a little bit about who we are, and we have the most. You heard Laura mention Amy and Dave are passionate, dedicated owners who have been industry leaders for 30 years and who are incredibly innovative. So they actually were part of the team that created the organic label way back when. 30 years ago or so. They saw that stuff that was being sold in the health food stores wasn't all healthy, and they needed something to distinguish what was being chemically farmed from what was being truly purely farmed. So they were the first ones to help create that label. And since then, just with all of the practices we've mentioned, they're constantly innovating, you know, with the glyphosate removing herbal formula to the compostable packaging. They're incredible. And they're the manufacturers, so they really cut out any middleman. And that's really why they can put money in the pockets of the families who are sharing these stories, like people who are here on this call. They're not paying advertisers, they're not paying any kind of other corporate middlemen. They own the farm and they own the manufacturing facility, and so it's all inclusive, and it's a really beautiful business model to support families to thrive. High quality, as you've been hearing, high integrity. They're willing to take a loss in their profits to stand behind their values. For example, when they made the transition from plastic to plastic free, they did take a hit for a couple of years financially because they really wanted to walk their talk. And they saw the bigger vision that they would come through that and be the leading company in not only plastic free, but it's non-GMO plastic free, and really build soil, and really beautiful core values. So we've been in network marketing for 20 years. And this business model, like I said, is what's able to help put that money in the pockets of families instead of, you know, just more corporations. And we're in business by ourselves, but we're not, I mean, for ourselves, but we're not by ourselves. We have each other. And then this is how I got my yes. So if you're here on this call and you're like, okay, this sounds really interesting. I'm feeling like a tickle of like a pulse of like, okay, this is exactly everything that I've been calling in, and I want to take that leap. For me to be able to take that leap was this key right here: 60-day money back policy and that was, so I said, well, this is a no-brainer. It's actually a no risk choice, because if it doesn't work out, I can just get my money back. And it turns out we have less than a 2% return rate because of that high customer and brand partner satisfaction. So I love that. So with that, I just want to say thank you for your time being here, and reach out to the person who invited you for more questions, taking the next steps, getting started with this, getting your first pack of superfoods and getting started with the business to hit those commissions and bonuses and start your own financial whole life transformation. And so I'm going to stop the recording here and open it up for shares and questions, or questions from the community that we can field. And